morning. It is Friday, and I am really happy about that. This is an update and a little discussion about something that I'm sure a lot of you or all of you can relate to, and it has to do with when people notice. Yesterday I had a new shirt on, as I mentioned in my vlog yesterday, and it was more form-fitting. And I have been wearing very baggy clothes. I've been wearing my clothes that I even wore 80-something, almost 90 pounds ago. So I knew that yesterday I was going to be approached, that people were going to notice my weight loss, which sometimes makes me uncomfortable. But I had a discussion with a gal who herself, she is trying to lose weight through mostly exercise, which isn't working too well for her. Anyway, so we had a discussion in the hallway, and she was like, wow, you look really good. I can really tell today, you know. And I said, it's the clothing. And we wwere talking about how I have been obese since I was 9. So, I mean, we're going on, 45 plus years ago to now. So it's been a long time. She said when she was in high school, she was 110. Anyway, I'll leave her story out of it on this part so it doesn't confuse you. So I was sharing with her that I know I look different than I did, you know, a year ago. I know I do. When I look in a picture, a hard frozen picture, I can see that I have lost weight. I also think that I took a picture of myself yesterday of my face, and, you know, just headshot. And I keep thinking, my head keeps saying, oh, that was just a good angle, and that's not what you really look like, and all that stuff goes through my head. But if I take a picture of when the day before 2 days, I think it was, before I started HCG, and now I can see that I have lost weight. But on a day-to-day, in and out, every angle, perception, I cannot see it. So when the last time I calculated, I think it was, I'm 83 pounds down. Okay. So when I'm chatting with somebody, one of the things I don't normally tell them is how much I've lost, because I'm afraid they're going to tell me I'm a liar, because I don't believe it or something. Because I started to talk to her, and I said, yeah, every one of my buttons on my lanyard is 5 pounds, and she's like, oh my god, that is so great and everything. And I said, yeah, and I felt comfortable enough to say, and I'm down 83 pounds. And then I waited for a response, and I expected her, if she was like, oh, what was that? Liar, liar. You know, I expect a person who is like forced to tell the truth to go, well, I could believe that you'd lost 30 pounds, but not 83. Because that's what I expect people to think as soon as I say I have lost 83 pounds. So I generally don't tell people I have lost 83 pounds, and I tell them, unless they ask, and then I always have to run it with an excuse at the end. You know, and I know it's hard to see, but I'm wearing my 5Xs that I used to wear when I was that, you know, and the whole explanation part to rationalize why it may not look like I've lost 83 pounds. So when people notice, I have this real big mind game going on, and I realize that I'm not even halfway there. And even if I was halfway there, even if you know, what am I going to feel when I'm saying, yeah, and I've lost 133 pounds or something like that? Am I going to still feel the same way? And how do I get my brain and my feelings to match? I don't know. The sun's kind of coming up, and it's putting a very nice glow on my face. Back to the subject. somebody said yesterday, you really are glowing. Your face is glowing. You look so healthy. Blah, 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 blah. You know what? And it's probably because I'm not eating sugars or starches. Especially the starch part, with wheat and gluten and all that stuff. All those inflammatory foods. Anyway, back to when people notice. I would love us to maybe have a little round robin conversation about that for those of you who've lost enough for it to be noticeable, and where your head is, and try to really figure it out. And how do you feel when you tell somebody you've lost a certain amount of weight or something, and how do you intentionally hide it like I do? I mean, I am literally still wearing what I call my MC Hammer pants, because they are so flippin' big on me that I can pull them out, and like I could put both legs into one pant leg. But why am I doing that? Am I using that as my shield? Why am I still wearing my 5Xs? My husband says, you're just bagging. You're just baggy. But when I put on that turtleneck in the dressing room, I had a girlfriend with me, and I came out and I'm like, is this okay? Will this work? And it was the only turtleneck in the store, and it was going to have to work if I felt like I really needed to have a turtleneck for that working day. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, it was touching my skin. It was touching my stomach. And I was like, this is really hard for me. And, I don't wear form-fitting clothes. But when I do, people notice. So what do you do when people notice? Or how do you keep them from noticing? Or how do you want them to notice? And what if they don't? So anyway, that's a conversation starter. And I went out for happy hour last night. And I want you to know that I keep saying this over and over, but I want you to know I think about it more than I say it. I am absolutely amazed at how food is not pulling me right now. Right now. Never say never, because I know that in an hour from now there could be a trigger and I'm off to the races. But food is not pulling, and it's not calling my name. I don't stress about going out socially with friends, and I think somebody said that Robin said in some post on Facebook that it's like training, exercise training. You get stronger with your training and doing it. So those of you who are on P2, you may want to think about not staying. You don't want to get a double negative. You may want to think about going out and doing social things where there is food around. I know that it's sometimes hard, but what it is it's going to make you stronger if you can have some successes. So I think that has a lot to do with why I'm where I'm at right now, is because I've let myself this last round really expose myself to food that I couldn't have. And the first round I totally was like a turtle. I just hid. So for me, it has been a good thing to go out and be around in social activities where there's food, knowing that my vision and my task is more important than that food. That food, has no control over me and all that stuff. So, social hour, no problem. Went, and everybody else got drinks and beers, and we went to a brewery, and so there, little tasters. And then we got some snacky foods, and there was, there was anything and everything that was on the menu had starch in it, with it, on it. But what I ordered for dinner was a spinach artichoke dip that was vegan, and it came with little pita bread things. And so I asked her if they could substitute vegetables, And they said, no, they don't substitute, but I could buy a little saucer full of raw vegetables or steamed for $3. So sometimes it costs a little bit more to be committed to your eating plan. So that's what I did. I ordered that spinach dip, and the bread was sitting there, and it didn't call my name. It did not say, Hebby, eat me. I am a bread freak. I love bread. So for me to not even look at it and you know, have any kind of a heart palpitation was really cool. Hey, anybody want my bread? Grabbed it, handed it over to somebody else, and switched it out with my vegetables and made my plate look pretty, as if it had been served to me that way, and proceeded to enjoy my dinner. So, why was I telling you all that? Oh, just because I had told you that I was going out for happy hour, and I'm just a block away now from Starbucks, and every Friday morning I go have coffee with a couple of girlfriends, and I know life is good, but the other part of my life sometimes sucks big. So, oh, the whole point. You guys, food is not calling me. I actually sat down and I heard what people had to say yesterday, instead of wishing that I could have some of their food, or, oh God, look at their food, and I wonder what it tastes like. I wonder if I can have a bite. I mean, all that kind of stuff that food says to me while I have these little conversations with food. Anyway, I'm at Starbucks, so I am going to go visit with my friends, and if I can, I don't know, I may have to substitute today because we've got a lot of people out, but if I can, I will put a side-by-side picture of what I'm talking about from a year ago and from who I am now as of yesterday. And yes, it looks good. You don't need to comment and tell me how great I look. I know how great I look. Bye, you guys. Have a great day.